Here it is. Hey, all right. Sorry about that, guys. You can hear me now. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So, thanks for joining the meeting. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves again. So I'm Tiffany Wright. I'm on the AggieBudget team. And I have in the room with me Karen Olson, who is our help desk guru. We also have Heidi, who is our AggieBudget co-chair from School of Education. And we have Matt, who is our master system user and maker of all the reports you guys know and love. And we have Terrence, who is our functional lead. And so I've had this poll up, and people have been entering the room, so I guess it's okay. We had a little audio delay there. Sorry about that. But I think we've got a pretty good amount of participants now taking the poll, so I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. Here. All right. So share results. So it looks like most of you are on the Davis campus. We actually have a few of you that are off campus and some from Sacramento campus. So it's nice to see this for the first time. We're really seeing, you know, who's able to come and join these meetings, and also what your role is in AggieBudget. So it looks like the majority of you are department admins. We also have some editors and viewers. Okay. Yeah, and then there we go.
Not showing. Oh, not showing.
Yeah, not showing.
No. Scroll down. 10%.
Okay, how about that? Matt, you need to scroll down for what you're showing. Okay, so then, all right, so then we have plan file viewer, report viewer, future user, not applicable, and not sure. If you're not sure what your role is, I recommend checking in with your department admin. If you're not sure who your department admin is, I think at least Karen, where's the best place for someone to find out who their department admin is?
There's a link actually on the Getting Started page.
Of the AggieBudget website?
Yeah, that shows you, you can click and it says Department Admin, and that report will pop up.
All right, great. Thank you, Karen. All right, let's continue. All right, so news and updates. You guys may all be wondering when final budget is going to be open for entry. So we did have a couple of delays. However, we do expect that will be resolved, and we will have the system open for edit by the end of this week. And then we will leave the system open for editing through September 30th. So on October 1st, we will close the system and begin preparing for Q1 reporting. If you have any questions, again, check with your department admin, your BIA analyst. Great, and another announcement. So it's actually been about a year since Heidi joined us as co-chair. We announced Heidi was our co-chair in September of 2018 user group meeting. And so it's time to call for a new co-chair. So I'm seeking a new volunteer to act as co-chair with the Budget Institutional Analysis staff. This is your opportunity to help make sure that the content of these meetings is relevant to you and the other users, because you know we need a voice from the users to come and help make sure that we're keeping this relevant. And it's also your opportunity to provide some leadership and facilitate discussions and make an impact on AggieBudget. So a lot of important stuff here. And so Heidi, I'd like to ask you about your experience as co-chair and how do you like it?
Yes, I have been involved in AggieBudget since the pilot, and I loved everything about it, right down to the challenges that that would occur. I wanted to be AggieBudget user group co-chair because I wanted to be more involved, and I wanted to be more involved with the AggieBudget process and getting to know BIA a little bit better. I really enjoyed it. I wish I could have done more during my tenure. And the time commitment has not been a lot. but it's just been very enjoyable for me, and I'm excited to see where AggieBudget goes from here. So I would encourage anyone that would love to volunteer for the AggieBudget co-chair to please do so, because it's quite enjoyable.
Great, thanks, Heidi. So if you are interested, this is kind of the outline of requirements. We ask that you plan on being co-chair for a year. We expect that you would spend about 3 to 8 hours per month, and that includes the time, I would say, meeting with the AggieBudget team. So we usually meet 1 or 2 times before the user groups to go over ideas for content. And then you may lead or participate in the AggieBudget user group discussions, help develop the content, and then we also ask that you have support from your direct supervisor. If you are interested, please email me by September 6th. So I think that gives you guys a couple of weeks to consider and make sure that you want to volunteer. And then just include a few sentences explaining why you would like to be co-chair. You know, not much, just maybe like, you know, no more than a paragraph about why you're interested. And my hope is that we can bring that back to the user group and let you all have a voice in selecting who your next co-chair will be. So very excited to hear back from you all as you're interested. So, all right. So this is best practice part. So we want to talk about favoriting reports in the web client. So I don't know if all of you know how to do this. So I'm just going to run through it. It's real quick, real simple. So basically what you want to do, if you want to favorite a report, is you select and open a report from the reports library. So you can see here, let's see, annotate. The reports library is in the quick links right there. And then, let's see, clear. Oh, annotate. There we go. All right, and so this is what the reports library looks like. And you can see here, I'm going to select the fund category reference report. And then what you'll do is you'll click the star in the upper right-hand corner below the Kaufman Hall logo. One thing I noticed when I was doing this is that the star does not change color to indicate that it is currently a favorite. You just have to click it once. If you click it multiple times, looking for it to change color, you will favorite it multiple times. So I did that myself. But you just click that once, and then it will show up right here in your navigation pane. So from anywhere in AggieBudget now, from the web client, you'll be able to access your favorite reports right there. So it does make a really fast link to get you right to the reports that you use the most. However, I want you to know that it does not save your filter selections. So all it's doing is just getting you to the report faster. Also, it's linking to a specific version of that report, even if that report is then later archived and replaced with a new version. It's important to know that, because if we do change the report to incorporate either additional filters or new platform features, and you want to use those new filters or those new platform features, you'll want to go into the new version through the reports library and favorite the new version. You'll continue to have access to the old version as long as it stays in your favorites. So if you really like the filters exactly how they are, that is kind of a back-end way to keep access to those, but that's, you know, but you may also want to take advantage of the new one. So you will, we typically will let you know that we've updated reports by sending out communications through either the emails or the Slack channel. So so hopefully you'll catch one of those and you'll see that the report's been updated. But yeah, and then also if you want to delete a report from your favorites, when you hover over it in that navigation pane, there will be a little trash can icon to the right. You click that and then it will remove that from your favorites. All right, now the poll. Let's see here. So let me know, do you use this feature? And what's your favorite report? All right, looks like activity on the poll has stopped. So what do we got? All right, I'm very excited to see that many of you will use that feature now. No is also fine. I'm surprised. No one selected, going to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention. Because I'm guessing if you weren't paying attention, you also didn't see the poll. All right, and then favorite reports, it looks like the sources and uses is the clear winner, followed very closely by the monthly variance report and the 12-month projection report. And then we've got a lot of other, so that would be interesting. You can put in the comment and let us know what other report you use, because we thought we captured the main ones. So very interested to know what's in the other. And then also, I want to say my favorite report that no one voted for is the org comparison report. That one's really, really great if you're trying to do some diagnostics. It lets you see either total sources and uses or by any category that we use in the sources and uses style reporting, by org, exactly where things are. So that one is a fun one I like. I think you guys should check out. Did we get some? Oh yeah, all right, the personnel report, that's one. Anyone other comments about what other was? No? All right, we'll move on. Thank you all for participating in the poll. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to hand it over to Karen, and she's going to talk about reallocating commitments.
Okay, so page down. Yeah. Okay, so this is to show you how you would reallocate a commitment that's centrally funded. So the scenario is that when you open your budget plan files, you will see that there's been a commitment added into a clearing account by the BIA analyst if that funding was awarded. And assuming that you may not want to budget for the commitments in that account, then how do you move it to a different account? There's a two-step process. For each one line that's added to your clearing account, you have to add 2 new commitments. And basically, you're going to first zero it out of the current account. And it's pretty easy to do because you're going to duplicate the line, but make the amount be negative this time. And the second step is to allocate it to the other account. And that just involves adding another new commitment line with the account block or account number, really, where you want it to be budgeted. And you should just note that some commitments will show up twice, especially if they're being added to both the base budget and the current budget. And also, you'll have to note which year they're allocated in when you're looking at the commitment sheet. So you would need to repeat the same process for each line that's a commitment. So a good way to find the commitments that you have is to use the commitments lookup report. And this is a web report. And right here I have an example of one that I looked up from the last fiscal year, 18-19. And I'm showing you the filter pane over on the left, where, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of tiny, but I chose the org 3 BIOS, College of Biosci, and the fiscal year 18-19. And right here, I have used the drop-down arrow to choose the budget final. And then there's these optional filters. And right now, I'm trying to draw while Tiffany's holding down the button. This is awkward. It's messy. I didn't type in that budget group, but I chose from the drop-down. When you click on it, it's going to give you choices. And I chose the budget group, budget transfers in, because that was all I wanted to see. And then I can choose to display the account block type and plan files down here. And then, of course, click apply and run the report. So that gives me a nice list of all of the different commitments in this org. And the org and the plan file are synonymous in this case at one level, but actually this has many plan files in that org. So what I need to do then is fine tune it. If I know that I need to make a change in one of them, I can sort by the plan file. There's little tiny filters. I can click on the column header and sort by the plan file. I could sort by commitment type or funding type. And you can see it there. Tiffany highlighted it in the budget group. If I go over to the funding type, you can see right here, there's a little tiny filter icon. So if I click that, then a dialog box pops up and I can choose, you know, part of the description. If I'm looking for things in the budget letter, I know they usually include FY for fiscal year. So I could choose a description that contains FY, for example, and find my commitments pretty easily. And then once I pull up a list that has what I'm looking for, I should note which of these plan files it's in, because that's the plan file I'm going to have to open up in order to edit the commitment. So let's see. Tiffany's going to clear off all my scrawls. Okay. All right. So in the commitment sheet view, where do you find this first of all? You open the budget plan file, and as you remember, when you open a plan file, you'll see the summary sheet to begin with. And then you navigate to the commitment sheet by using the tabs at the bottom. So here I've used a training org called TAD19. And in this case, it's the account TADM0019. I can see that over here on the left, and I see the plan file at the top of that screen. Tiffany's helping me annotate again. Thank you. Okay, and so this is the view that I see right away. The commitment type is undergraduate instruction, and here's the description: FY20 budget letter, student advising 2 years, central funding, and under 1920 total, I've got $250,000. This has more fields that are editable to the right if you scroll on the bottom. So in order to add another commitment to zero it out, that's my first step. I'm just going to double click on the orange text. And if you do this while you're in, of course, you're in the desktop version because that's the only place where you can edit a plan file. And then it will look like this. After I've added another commitment, then I have to choose the budget group in the account, and I'm essentially duplicating it. You'll notice that my description is exactly the same, but I did put zero out. You can also put that, whoops, sorry, in the notes field, which is farther over to the right if you scroll over there. And notice that it says 250,000 in parentheses. All I did to make it a negative was I started typing with the minus sign. So I, in that case, it populated as a negative number. And then since I think I'm done, I would click the Save button. And once I save it, then I can check my summary sheet and see how it looks. So here's what the summary sheet looks like. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom and look at the column for fiscal year 1920 commits, you'll see that there's 250,000 in the total expenses and budget transfers out. I forgot to mention that I characterized the budget group on this one as a budget transfer out instead of a budget transfer in when I was duplicating the line. So it's not exactly the same. So make the number negative and choose budget transfer out. So this is step one. Now it's going to be zeroed out of this account. In my case, I am adding it to a different plan file. So in order to add it, I need to open up that budget plan file. So you can see I've got another training plan file here. It's PAC05, and I am duplicating exactly the original line from what the BIA analyst put in. So I added another commitment. This is what it looks like after I have added that line. And you can see it says undergraduate instruction, fiscal year 20 budget letter. Always keep that description the same so it's easily identifiable. The funding type is central funding. And you can see I've put it in the 1920 total column, the same amount, 250,000. And once I do that, I save, and then I can check my summary sheet and this plan file, and I should see it added there too. So this is what it looks like on my file that I'm moving it into. So you can see here it's got an ending carry forward balance, and it shows up as revenue and expenses in that line also. So that's what you should see in the account that you're moving the commitment to after both steps are complete. And it could be that you're going to see this all in one plan file. If your plan file has both accounts in it, then you'll see 3 lines on your commitment sheet, and then you should see all of the results in the summary sheet. In this case, I was working in 2 different plan files. Okay, so that's the principle, and then here is how to do the details when you want to add another commitment. Remember, you start by double-clicking the orange text at the bottom of the section where you're adding something, and that begins the pop-up boxes, and this is what the dialog boxes look like in turn. First, you have the calc method variables, and you won't be able to just type in the account block. You have to choose, and there will be a list available of whatever is in that plan file. And then you'll have to, again, choose which budget group value you want, budget transfer in or budget transfer out in this case. And this is showing you what the options look like when you're choosing a value. And once you've chosen it, you click OK. And then once you have input those and it appears in your plan file, you have some fields that are editable because doing that process didn't put any dollar amount in. So you need to scroll to the appropriate column where the year is shown, and there you can enter in the dollar amount. You can also scroll further over and add notes.
Sorry about that.
Technical difficulties. Let me just move that out of the way for a second. Okay. So then you'll see that you have options of other places for out years if you have funding for more than 1 year, for example. Just keep in mind that if you start with 2 commitment lines, you are going to have 4 additional lines needed to zero it out and move it. If you have 1, then you'll have 2 additional lines. So each time you are going to have double that number of lines to move your commitment to a different account. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is what if you need to delete one of them? So you make a mistake. You can only delete things that you have added, and so you won't be able to delete any rows that are pre-populated. You can double click on the blue box on the far left end of the row that you want to delete, and it will pop up. It wants you to be careful about deleting, so it pops up, and then you have to click on the delete to show that, yes, you really do want to delete this. Click OK, and then actually it won't finalize until you hit the Save button in the ribbon. So that is pretty much the process for reallocating the commitments that are centrally funded from the budget letter. Tiffany, are you ready to
Yeah.
take it away? Are we going to ask them if they have questions or
Yes.
feedback or anything?
So if you have any questions, comments, please put them in the chat. I'll give you a second to do that. All right. No comments, no questions. All right. Well, thank you, Karen. All right. So then this is our last topic. We're making exceptional time. So I sent out a survey, actually very late after the last user group meeting. So it was actually, I think, probably 2 weeks after the last user group meeting. And I wanted to share that with you guys about some of the feedback that we got. And so let me see here. All right, so we had 21 responses of both did or did not attend. So it looks like slightly more people who attended responded to the survey, but it was valuable either way to let us know, you know, if you didn't attend, why. And so here we can see surveys completed by unit. So we see School of Medicine. Thank you very much. You guys were very active in completing the survey. And BIA was our next group. College of Biological Sciences, Office of the Chancellor. So thank you everyone who did respond. I feel like this is a good way to help us get an idea of if we are making these useful to you. And so you can see here the yes or no, did you attend? And then we have, so how many user group meetings did you attend in the past? So the vast majority have attended 1 or 2. We have a few that have attended 3 or 2 to 4. And we actually had a few of you that responded that have attended more than 6. So that's pretty awesome. Overall, how satisfied were you? I'm going to go with that's good. You guys are all either mostly satisfied here. Just one person is not so much satisfied or dissatisfied, but I'll take it. That's okay. No one was strictly dissatisfied. I'll take a positive. How much did you learn? So we have that little bit of a bell curve there, a little bit, all the way to a great deal. That's good. So we'll reflect on what was in that user group meeting and what may have been useful. We did have some place for comments about what did you like, or what did you like best, or what did you not like about the meeting. Didn't get a lot of people doing the comments, but I want to emphasize that if you can fill those out, those would really be helpful to us as we try to make these just more useful to you as users. And then let's see, how well did it meet your expectations? We're going to go with pretty well. And then let's see here. And then why did you not attend? That's another good one. So if you didn't attend, it looks like a lot of people maybe would have come if it had been a little more convenient or a different time. So, and then let's see, what topics would you like to hear about? So this one was kind of all over. Everybody likes different things. So, and this was, I think everyone could select more than one. So, so that's pretty good. Most of you enjoy, getting the news about reporting, budgeting, news and updates, less on the general training. But again, so I'm going to send a survey out again. I'm going to do this for probably a few of the meetings to try to get some more feedback from the user group about how these meetings are going and what else you guys would like to see. And so I'd really appreciate it if when you get the next one that you take the time to put in some comments to help us, figure out what exactly you guys would like to see more about. This is a good opportunity for you guys to give us that feedback. So, so look for that. I'll send that survey out again, probably pretty shortly after this meeting, since we've already got that set up. And that's all I have for you guys. We went through that fast. So Jennifer, are you on? Are you able to chat?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, great.
So we had on the agenda originally for you to share with us the sneak preview of the website. Are you still up for doing that?
Yes, definitely. I can share my screen and just show you a couple pages that we're working on right now.
All right, excellent. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then Jennifer will take over. And let me see here.
Okay.
Oh, stop share. There we go.
Okay, I think I can take it over now. Let's see. Well, hi again. My name is Jennifer Eating. I'm a communications manager in FOA Communications. And I'm going to try to get this bar out of the way here. Okay. So when we first designed the AggieBudget website, we didn't have all the great training resources that we have today. So we decided it was time to rethink a couple of our pages to make it easier to navigate. So right now we're looking at our sandbox, which is, it's basically like a development site where we can move things around and plan what we're going to do to the website before we actually publish it. So you won't be able to find this on the AggieBudget site yet, but it's coming later this week. So we have worked on the Learn page, where we've added a visual layout of everything that is in this section, so it's a little bit easier to find everything that you need. Previously, if you're familiar with this section, I believe right now it's called Learn More, and you kind of have to rely on this top level, whoops, I just reduced the size, the top level navigation up here, but you don't have the visual layout as well, so we're hoping that this will help you find everything that you need. So here you can go either way, but we started it with getting started and then navigating, and this is a page that exists currently and is being updated that describes all the required training based on the role that you have in AggieBudget. We still have budget plan files and labor plan files separated into 2 pages because there's quite a lot of content, mostly videos in each of those sections. And then training plans is more of an overview of all your training options and what is to come. And then over here in news and events, this is also just organized a little bit differently from before. We wanted to bring all the light content together. So we have our news feed and our event calendar. This is the meeting we're in now. We need to add September meetings. Always the system login always appears there. And then in user group meetings, if you haven't checked this page out already, it's not linked because, again, I'm in a separate development website, but it does exist on the current AggieBudget website, where you can find video recordings, handouts, any kind of reference materials that were used in the user group meetings if you ever have to miss one. And then newsletters, you can sign up for the newsletter or read past issues there too. So we hope that this is going to be helpful to everyone. I'd encourage you to please let me know if there's anything that you are looking for that you can't find on the website or in the AggieBudget system. You can email the FOA Communications team directly if you'd like. It's foacommunications@ucdavis.edu.
You can also send those right to the AggieBudget help desk, and you can we'll make sure that Jennifer gets those there also.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Jennifer, for sharing that. I know I am very happy about getting all of that reorganized. So that being pretty much everything, I have one last poll for you all. So let me know who you want to thank, or please stop polling. I'll give you all a minute to vote, and then I'll share if you'd like, and then we'll call it a day. And you can select as many as you would like. All right. Polling is slowing down. Get a few more in there.
And Shannon says, thank you, Tiffany. You did
Oh,
not
yeah.
make that a choice.
I appreciate the comment. Thank you, Shannon. All right, now I'm going to cut the polling off. I think we've had enough fun for the day here. End polling, share results. All right, thank you, Heidi.
Awesome.
You came in. Yeah, and then and we did get a couple of the please stop polling, but you know what? That wasn't so overwhelming that I think I'm going to be convinced. You guys will have to vote on that next time. All right, thanks again. Thanks for keeping it interactive, and we'll see you next month.